Physics is everywhere. All around you, you see so many things happening. And if you go deeper into why anything is happening or try and explain anything, you require physics. Physics is everywhere. All around you, you see so many things happening. And if you go deeper into why anything is happening or try and explain anything, you require physics. We are going to be doing some physics courses, and this course has been divided into several units, and each unit has some modules. This is to enhance the learning, to help you go deeper into each of those simple aspects which you would be learning in this first course of physics. And what you need to always remember is that physics is everywhere. All around you, you see so many things happening. And if you go deeper into why anything is happening or try and explain anything, you require physics. Whether you are doing some work at home, or you're doing some work in the lab, or you're a scientist, or simply an ordinary person, you still require the physics, whether you call it physics or not. In the physical world, you do a lot of measurements. Sometimes you have to make a direct measurement, much like the one you are used to in doing in school, like measurement of lines, angles. I want to take measurement for the distance from here to the moon. Now, for that, you do not have any kind of direct measurement. So, indirect measurements would also be involved. This will help you see the scope of learning physics, how much you can do with whatever you have around you. Whether you choose to do science later, whether you want to become a scientific researcher or otherwise, such things will be always around you. You will need to realize that physics is required for construction of a home, to keep things properly on your table, to be able to put things in your bag, and to be able to take your cycle along a road. So many things, everything needs physics, and very precise measurements are there. Can you think about this, that a surgeon who is performing a surgery in an operation theatre has a whole bunch of arrangement of apparatus. He chooses a particular blade for a particular incision, or he decides he will use a laser beam, or he decides he will do it in any other way. The precise measurement required by this scientist doctor is so necessary that if he did not do that, then he would probably make a mistake. And you do know that some people are not allowed to make any mistake in their calculation. How many mistakes is a pilot allowed when he is flying the aircraft? How many mistakes is a surgeon allowed when he is operating on somebody? Your answer would be 0, because you don't want any errors taking place. And therefore, you have to carefully see that if you are using an instrument, what kind of measurements it has to be doing and what kind of precise work you need to do from it. It is for this reason that your Unit 1 is designed in such a way that you get the feel of the physical quantities and the feel of how to make the measurements for it. You must have heard of things like this. Oh, this is human error. Human error, as we just said, for pilots is 0, and for the surgeon who is performing an operation in the theatre, obviously there is 0 error there. Then who is allowed these errors? Sometimes when day-to-day life you can make a slight allowance. if a person who is a tailor makes a slight mistakes and makes your shirt a little loose, doesn't matter. But if he makes it tight, then you will say that this is not even fitting me. You wasted my material. So it is in that constant that you also need your tailor to be measuring accurately. So the zero error of the measuring instrument, the least count of the measuring instrument, all these things will lead to make you understand how precise you should be and how precise you can get by using a particular instrument. Now in physics, all measurements are not very big. They can be very, very small. Like you may require to find out what would be the diameter of a molecule. Why would you need something like that? Because you are studying its properties. And if you have recently seen, the recent research is showing that the material is being made 1 molecular diameter thickness. And that is why your mobile phones are becoming thinner and thinner. Your mobile phone is a big computer. It is able to do so many jobs for you. It is able to take pictures, it is able to record things, it is able to send emails, it is able to do a lot of work for you. And that is why its storage capacity and this and that, if you add that up, it is a big computer. And that is getting thinner and thinner because the materials that are being used to make it are becoming thinner and thicker. And therefore, you will realize that you need precise measurements for very small values also. One kind of instrument cannot do the job for all. So you have multiple types of instruments, multiple ways of calculations, multiple ways of using your calculations, extrapolating. The meaning of extrapolation is that if this is happening and if the rules are to be followed, then this should happen for other values as well. And that kind of work would also be learnt in your physics course. Because it is the basic course, you will be doing things very simply or in a simple manner, and this will help you realize that the basic course is necessary in much the same way as a child who comes to school needs to learn alphabets or needs to make up simple words, needs to increase his vocabulary so that in turn they can use it for useful purposes. So enjoy your physics course and learn how to make significant measurements and use them, and learn how to make graphs. Enjoy it so that you can do innovation and creation and make it better for the society.